Beep beep, breakfast cars. Beep beep, breakfast cars. Yeah!
Hello for the first time this morning.
Oh, good morning, BBs. It's too early. Welcome to the first, best, and only morning show in existence. I'm Anthony Carboni.
And I'm Saige Ryan.
And, fucking nailed it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, perfect run.
Fucking nailed it, everybody.
And now everything sounds very good, so we can do the news. Previously, I was concerned, Anthony, that we would need to dub the whole show.
Why? Everything's moving perfectly this morning, and this is the first time we've started the show.
I've got it. It is, Anthony. I've got it. Fortunately, we don't have to. However, and yes. However, a bunch of fans
Do you want to go from the top?
Fortunate.
I'll just start over.
Hi, welcome. It's your roll the intro again. A bunch of fans of the 1980s Super Mario Bros. Anime film have been working on a dubbing project. Previously, they were working on a remastering project, and that has already gone through. They have digitally restored it, and now fans are personally dubbing it, Anthony.
This is really wonderful. I have watched the beautiful 4K dub of the Super Mario anime film, and let me tell you something. It's lovely. It's a beautiful fever dream of non-canonical Mario stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Mario's changed a lot.
It's so funny because obviously the Nintendo company is so protective over Mario IP now.
Mm-hmm.
But man, in the 80s, it was Wild West out there.
Well, it's one of those things where, like, they don't know what the character is yet, right? But it's popular already.
Yeah.
And, like, that sort of stuff, like, it happened with Star Wars and everything, too, where, you got that, like, holiday special.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Where, like, we don't know what Star Wars is yet. Maybe this is part of it? I don't know.
Turned out it wasn't.
We'll do some Ewok movies for television? Is this part of it? Like, it all kind of, like, happens. It's really wild. Like, Mario and Luigi own an antique store in this anime. They're not, like, plumbers, canonically.
Yeah. Will you pull up the video?
The whole movie? Let's watch the whole movie.
No, there's a clip.
Let's watch the whole movie.
There's a little preview, Anthony. They did a preview of their dub.
I'm sure we can, but, like, hey.
Let's just watch the whole movie.
Can we watch the whole movie?
It's not done yet.
I mean, the 4K one's done.
But not the English dub.
No.
That's what this is. This is
Subs
a preview
over
of the English
dubs.
dub.
I want to hear it.
You take care. Oh, why hello, Miss Gertrude. What can I get you?
I need ingredients for my famous lemon orange chiffon cake.
Sounds scrumptious. Well, Mario can get you everything you need in the back.
Okay.
Hello, Mario, dearie. I'll need flour,
They're doing a
eggs,
great
sugar,
job.
baking powder,
Luigi
orange,
sounds a little bit like a
lemon.
Jewish,
Why?
like a Jewish
What?
ant.
You think I can bake with
Yeah.
this?
I always pick
I'm not
Luigi.
senile enough to fall
He's
for
also
a silly
blue.
trick like that.
Yeah, he's blue.
Have a nice day. Oh. You gotta get it together, Mario. Princess.
Yeah, he does sound like he's going to ask when I'm getting married.
Princess who now? Huh? Huh?
Also, Luigi is, like,
Whoa,
canonically
where'd you back
greedy.
That one, bro, looks real
Oh,
expensive.
no.
Hands
Now it made it
off.
worse.
Yeah.
Wait a
Come on,
minute.
Mario.
Now the fact
This
that
could
he
be
did
one
a
of those
Jewish
long
aunt
lost
voice made it
treasures
really
from some kind
bad.
of
Yeah.
ancient treasure kingdom.
Where's the-
No way. You want to
Luigi.
bet?
Wait.
Mario, look right there.
keep missing
Your
Mario.
necklace is from the legendary Mushroom Kingdom. A kingdom where the birds lay eggs of pure gold.
kingdom?
Where the flowers all have silver petals. And where the oceans glitter with diamonds. Mario!
Hamina.
We gotta go.
Yeah.
How do we get there?
I don't know.
So they're kind of going for, like, the Super Mario Brothers Super Show Captain Lou Albano Mario here.
Yeah.
Operator?
Operator, it's
Connect me
me,
to the mushroom
Super
kingdom.
Mario.
I love how the preview is not like a trailer for it. It's just like, here's a scene.
Yeah, here's like a clip of what we've done so far. It is a wild, wild thing. It is absolutely worth watching.
Look how pretty this peach is.
Peach is super pretty. The soundtrack is, like, really wild. It's got like this strange rockabilly soundtrack.
Fascinating.
Yeah. Folks, the Mario anime is good. It's very good.
We're turning up this morning. This is great. I love fan projects like this. I think this is very cool. We also have to accept we're never getting 80s media again. We're never getting anything like it. We're never going to see people be like this fast and loose with their IP again.
No.
Not even like new things.
No, everything now is like, what is the world? Figure out all the rules for the world, and these characters have a style guide, have
Follow
a
it up
brand
front.
guide. A project that came out like this a few months ago was Bulk Slash, which is a Saturn game that's absolutely wonderful, where like you pilot a mech, and you keep grabbing these different co-pilots, and every level you have a different co-pilot, and every co-pilot is a cutie, and they talk to you. They give you like vocal, like, oh no, there's a target at 3:00 or something like that, but it's all in Japanese, and it never got an American dub. And a fan group did a full English translation and dub that came out a couple months ago, and it's very good. Let me see if I can actually pull that up.
That sounds great. I would love to play that.
Even if you're not a Saturn fan, this Bulk Slash fan translation is super cute. And they like patched it to work with the Saturn twin sticks that came out for Virtual On. Here we go.
Launching operation.
Soundtrack slaps.
Leone Routes, Lieutenant Naira Savage.
I am Medical Flag.
Sergeant Colin
angle on that one,
Steiner.
but yeah.
Named Rupia Rude.
Holy moly!
Yeah, they're all cute as heck.
Do you know who my favorite cutie is?
Which one?
Rupia
At 12
Rude.
o'clock.
Lord of the Run.
Yeah, of course it is.
I love Rupia Rude. And it's just got that like that mid-generation Saturn PlayStation look that's like really popular in indie games right now.
Yeah.
And it's got like that mid-90s, like these musicians are too good to be doing video game soundtracks in the mid-90s. And they're all also like free jazz and butt rock guys.
Yeah.
Like super technical math rock guys.
Right.
And so you get like these sick Macross style like guitar solos. Bulk Slash is a very good game. Very good game.
I am very much hoping that Nintendo doesn't issue any kind of like takedown or try and come after the people doing the animated series,
Oh, the Mario
animated
thing?
movie dub.
You know why I think they won't? They disavow that.
They don't even want to acknowledge it.
They
yeah,
disavow
they
it.
don't want to bring attention to it probably.
They
so I hope
did-
they're safe for that reason.
They did take down, and I don't think this was Nintendo. I have a feeling this was one of the studio rights holders. They took down the Morton Jankel cut of the Super Mario Brothers live action movie, which was a not a director's cut, but it had like a lot of stuff restored that made the movie even weirder. Yo, nobody knew what Mario was. Do you know what I mean?
I've still never seen the movie.
Saige,
I know.
I nearly, and I am not in the financial space where I can do this.
Yeah, Anthony.
But I
Whatever
nearly,
it is.
on eBay, I found out that you can buy, like there's a whole scene of people that buy continuity Polaroids from old movies.
Oh,
So like if you're on the set of a movie, before you go on,
they used to.
they used to take, now they'll do it with like somebody's phone, but they used to take Polaroids of what you're wearing. So they'd be like, in this scene, this character looks like this.
Dude, Polaroids were so crucial to so much of the film process when I was a kid. Because that was the thing, is you would get a Polaroid at an audition as well, and then
Yep.
you would get a separate Polaroid at a callback, which was essentially to make sure that you looked the same in between an audition and a callback, which was a big deal.
So, I mean,
Separate from your headshot, because sometimes your headshots, like people will go longer without headshots, and a lot of our headshots were in black and white.
Yeah.
So the Polaroids were in color.
and that's one of the things that kept the price of Polaroids up high, is they were used in a lot of like actual industries. So that's why Polaroids
facts.
even back in the 80s were like $1 a shot, you know? Anyway, there's people that sell these continuity Polaroids from different movies, and somebody had a whole collection of them from the Super Mario Brothers live action movie. And there were some great John Leguizamo, Luigi continuity shots. Hey, I'm also turning into Mario while I talk about this. And they were like $150, and I was like, yo, that's a piece of Super Mario history and John Leguizamo history. 2 histories I'm very interested in. And I was like, I can't pay $150 for a faded Polaroid from 1988.
Yeah.
Maybe I will. I didn't, but maybe I will. Yeah, when their names were canonically Mario, and Luigi Mario.
When did that change? I think they are absolutely still named that. Give me an alternative.
Well, now
You still call them the Mario Brothers?
Well, I like that in the Mario RPG series, the reason they do that is nobody thinks about Luigi. Like, that's kind of like a good bit, is like,
Yeah,
it's
it's a good
Mario
bit.
and Green Mario. People forget that the Green Mario joke is canonically from the Super Mario RPG series.
That's fucked. That's great. I love it. Hey, we have more Nintendo news, however, though, because coming out of seemingly nowhere, they announced a new Kirby game for this year.
Hey, what are you all doing?
Okay, so obviously we already got Kirby and the Forgotten Lands.
Forgotten Land, yeah.
Forgotten
You already
Realms
forgot.
is Dungeons and
Kirby
Dragons.
in the Forgotten Realms.
Hell yeah,
Kirby
I'd play
is
it.
Spelljammers. Kirby is Dragonlance.
Kirby is Ravenloft.
Kirby and Ravenloft. Oh, best one.
So we got an announcement for Kirby's Dream Buffet, which is coming to Switch this summer. And it's a Kirby party game that looks like it lands somewhere between Fall Guys and Mario Party, and it genuinely looks so fun.
Now,
I know it's a ripoff of Fall Guys a little bit, but like...
but they've done enough Kirby party games and multiplayer games in the past where, like, this doesn't feel too rippy-offy to me.
I mean, have you seen the gameplay?
I have.
They're definitely doing their Fall Guys, but...
Look, he's got a little bit on his little hand.
But it's so cute. All of it is that one map from Mario Party where you're on the cake, and that's my favorite Mario Party map.
Here's the thing. I love this. I feel like, okay, now Kirby, historically, is the license that they will add to an experimental game if they don't know what character to add to the game, especially if that thing rolls.
Yeah, that makes sense. But
like
it's like
Tilt
Fall
and
Guys
Tumble-
because you're all Kirby's.
Yeah, Tilt and Tumble was not a Kirby game. Dream Course was not a Kirby game when it started out. Like, there are a lot of Kirby games that did not start out as Kirby games. And Nintendo just likes to turn prototypes into Kirby games because Iwata has talked before about how Kirby is like, you can just put Kirby in anything. Kirby can be anything, and you
Literally.
can put him in anything.
I don't know what it is about this game. I think it's just like punching me in my like GameCube Mario Party nostalgia. But like, I'm so fucking stoked about this. This straight up made my morning.
It's got some Monkey Ball Party Mode vibes that I really
giving
enjoy.
Monkey Ball. It's giving Mario Party.
Now,
It's so cute.
you might, 2 things. Number 1, you might be like, hey, lay off the Kirby. We got some other shit you gotta be doing right now, Nintendo. You might be like that, but I'll say to you this. This game was gonna come out no matter what.
Yeah, obviously.
It's just a Kirby game now. And number 2, online's gonna be bad. The only 2 online things have ever worked for me.
Smash.
No. I mean,
It's got its issues. It's not like Evo level right now, but
they get Smash working.
Yeah.
But like at launch,
fine enough for me. It's not a
Smash
competitive
never
player.
works. Smash never works out of the gate. The only 2 things that have ever worked out of the gate for me from Nintendo are Animal Crossing, because that's practically asymmetrical in a lot of cases. And then like it doesn't need, like, Animal Crossing can be a little laggy and you don't really notice. And then number 2, surprisingly, Splatoon. Splatoon tends to work right out of the box. But even Mario Kart, when they released Mario Kart, didn't work.
you know, I'm not worried about it. This seems very fun. Maybe
Yeah,
they'll
Smash
maybe
still
they'll
only
nail it
works
this
really well
time.
with the Ethernet adapter. Mario Maker, they never got working.
Yeah.
Mario Maker was laggy till the day,
They didn't really care about Mario Maker.
which is wild.
I know.
Because the internet loved Mario Maker
I
so
know.
much.
Nintendo did not.
So hopefully, but you know what? Here's the thing. I want to play this Kirby game on a couch with my pals.
It's so cute, Anthony.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like a little bit entranced by this game.
I mean, it's adorable.
It's hitting different.
I like when he gets the little whipped cream on his hand
Yeah.
and he they never show him doing a.
He can't reach his hand.
He needs to do a.
It's attached.
I know, but he does a.
How would he get to it? It was on his little hand.
Because the face goes everywhere, and you just do a.
Okay.
He has the power to suck an entire other living thing
I
into
get
his
it. I
mouth.
just mean directionally, it would be difficult, Anthony.
Sure.
It might be a little disorienting.
Hey, we got some news about Kirby's best bud. Canonically best friend in the world.
Best bud Bayonetta?
Best bud Bayonetta. We got some new news, and that news is the news that we wanted finally. Bayonetta 3 has a release date. It's coming out in October.
October 28th, to be exact.
Spooky lady, spooky witch, spooky holiday, spooky season. Yeah, pull up that trailer.
Just watch it with no sound again.
Here's the thing. They have added a less sexy mode. Naive angel mode is what they call it.
That's a weird thing to call it.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Baby steps for Japan. The fact that Japan has even added a naive angel mode where you don't have to male gaze at Bayonetta, that's pretty good. Tiny bonus points for Japan on that one. They pre-added the American version of the things. Now, some people will say, why would you add that? And other people will say, that was extremely needed and maybe didn't even go far enough. And so it's good that it's there.
I want to like Bayonetta, and I hate it.
I know.
I hate it.
And I want you to like Bayonetta because I think you'd enjoy it. It's got a real almost like it's like a Sailor Moon magical girl thing, but
spooky, and
spooky and edgy.
Get it? And that sounds very appealing to me. It's just, look, there's a lot of conversation that's adapted over the last few years in the pandemic, especially as a lot of people have come further into a queer identity and understanding of what bisexuality means beyond what we understood. And there is a difference between obviously the male gaze and the feminine gaze.
Mm-hmm.
But even beyond that, there is a difference between women, the way women are made for us.
Bayonetta is not a real woman with real agency who is deciding to look and sound and act like that. Bayonetta is a character created by a male team,
right,
to look and act like that. So the idea of Bayonetta being empowered is actually a facade. It's not real. Bayonetta cannot be empowered. She does not make her own decisions. So it's different than a woman showing up looking and sounding like that if she wants to.
Right. Or even artistically sexed up. Fuck yeah. I love hot women. Listen, that's
we all
great.
do.
But there's nothing artistic about it. It's egregious, and in a way that I'm just I actually can't believe this is real. This seems it seems fan-made to me, and it makes it look kind of cringe.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it seems like it was designed by a freshman in high school.
Now looking at this trailer,
who just learned to draw anime art.
Sure. Now looking at this trailer, I know you're not somebody who's played a lot of Bayonetta. Looking at this trailer, I can already see where they've sort of toned it down.
If this is toned down, I'm just what was this game? It was
pretty wild. Above and beyond that, you can see a lot of the scale-bound stuff that they added in. Some of these giant monsters that you summon and control in this one, which I think is a really fascinating mechanic. Somebody, not the Lysander, is saying very mid-2000s styling.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just think it looks dated and kind of cringe.
It does.
It's
She's good.
It's not even a lack of comfort with her being naked. It's just the way that they've gone about it. I find embarrassing.
Yeah. Here we go. Bayonetta was designed by Mari Shimazaki. Yeah, Mari Shimazaki working for Platinum Games, designing a character to their specs. Let's be real. We like this character.
And that's great.
This is new, and we like them.
And that's cool. And that looks fun. Like, I like the way the character was running. I like some of the mechanics of these like swings. Like that character
she's
looks cool as
great. We
shit.
love her.
I love Dr. Freeze.
We love sexy Professor X.
That looks exactly like Tilda Swinton.
It is Tilda Swinton.
Okay.
I don't like that.
Original version of the game, Devil May Cry porn.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
It looks like it was designed on Tumblr to me. I don't think it's good. I guess that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm okay with her being naked, but I don't think they did a good job.
Yeah. Now, aesthetics aside, I am looking at all of the functionality that they seem to have added here, and I am very intrigued. This whole like, because it is a platinum game, so it is like it's always been like very specific combat and combo based. So I love that, the whole idea of the witch time thing, but the adding of these giant summonable kaiju that like grow and shrink and change, and how much control you're going to have over them, and fighting other characters' kaiju. I'm really fascinated by how that's going to work. I love this. I love this. I mean, obviously, there are some things about it that we really don't love. There's some things about it that I really enjoy.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to seeing
Lysander.
more.
I think, I'm with C. Dandino. It's just not a good naked.
It's not a good naked. No.
There's good naked. There's very good naked.
Yeah, absolutely. This is not it. So two things. I am glad that they added this mode where it's like, hey, be less naked. It doesn't change the mocap or the performance of the character. So obviously that's still an issue. But also like, I don't know, like gameplay-wise, Bayonetta has always been really, really interesting, and so I'm excited to see more. Here's the thing about just the enjoyment of Japanese media, and we've talked about this a little bit on the show before. Like I just finished watching Love After World Domination, which if you haven't watched it, super adorable anime that came out last season about basically like a group of Super Sentai, and then like the evil organization that they oppose, and the leader, one of the leaders of the evil organization, looks like Duranjo, like really classic like 60s anime like evil witch babe, and the leader of the Sentai and this lady fall in love. And they have to like secretly date.
Yes.
And it turns into like a very cute show about them secretly dating.
Yes.
But like there are a couple things, and it was adorable, and it was like feeding my soul. And there are a couple episodes where like it turns really anime on me, and I was like, oh, like there's a beach episode, obviously.
Of course.
You got to deal with the beach episode. There are but then at the end it goes into this weird like, there's an episode that's entirely about, like, it's a throwaway episode, has nothing to do with the main plot, that's entirely about weird baby fetish, where it figures out how to, like, dress all of the female leads in baby costumes. And I'm just like, hey, don't do this to me during this cute show. I can tell you it's the penultimate episode. It's episode 11. If you're watching Love After World Domination, skip episode 11. You can skip it. But there's these things that just keep popping up in Japanese media that do not go away, where it's like, and it's okay to like something and also critique it and be aware of its flaws.
Yeah.
But like, dang, man, quit doing it so often, Japan. Japan, I love you. You gotta stop doing it so much.
Hey, while we're talking about Japan in particular, we actually have another Nintendo story out of Japan. Nintendo issued an update on the company's social responsibility initiatives yesterday.
Now, this is the opposite of what we were just talking about. This is good on you, Nintendo. Good on you, Japan.
Well, this is good on you, Nintendo.
Not Japan.
Pause.
But.
So they posted a bunch of things about their initiatives to promote and inspire and encourage and uplift women in the workplace. They posted a lot about respecting diversity and equal opportunity. And one of the big things that was kind of pulled out of this was that the Nintendo company acknowledges that they will offer all of the benefits of same-sex marriage to queer couples that they do to heterosexual couples, even though Japan does not recognize gay marriage.
As a matter of fact, Japan just had a pretty historic vote to vote down gay marriage again, and explicitly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a real bummer and a big blow for human rights in Japan recently. But it's lovely to see Nintendo. When I said good for you, Nintendo, good for you, Japan, I guess I meant good for you, Nintendo, Japan, who I did not expect this from.
Yeah, so their statement said, we introduced the partnership system in March 2021 as one initiative based on this philosophy. Although same-sex marriages are not currently recognized under Japanese law, this system ensures that employees who are in domestic partnerships with a same-sex partner will have the same benefits as employees in opposite-sex marriage. We have also established a common law marriage between couples will be observed in the same way as a legal marriage.
We love this. We absolutely love this. Now, Nintendo, very known for being a very old, very kind of stodgy traditionalist company. That's how I said it. A very old traditionalist company, and this is a really surprising move from them. Like, I would not have expected this from them. I was gonna say country.
I know.
And then I stopped halfway, and it made it worse. But did it make it less true? No. Now, remember that this is Nintendo saying this for employees. We also want to link this up to a story that happened a few months ago where we know that there are two classes of employees at Nintendo. A high number of Nintendo employees are contractors. And those contractors do not get treated particularly well at all compared to full-time employees. So it's important to remember that as well. Something like this is a really good move, and we don't mean to minimize it, but we also need a lot of these corporations to be looking at how many people are full-time and how many people are contractors. And if you have somebody that's been a contractor for a year, multiple years, then you are abusing the contractor system. And you need to convert those people to full-time employees. And that's a completely different human rights thing that we need to be working on.
Hi, I'm a contractor.
I've only in my real adult life at a real job, I've only not been a contractor once.
Same.
Just once. And that was when I worked for Revision 3 and Discovery. That was the only time I was a full-time employee. I've never been an employee of any other company basically in my adult life. I've never had benefits. I've never had any of the stuff that a full vacation time. I've never had anything that a full-time employee gets.
Yeah, but many times you have worked full-time hours. If this is a position,
more than full-time hours,
right? If this is a position where you're working and it's like, well, I'm only there once a month, or
that's
whatever.
great.
That makes sense. But positions where they have you coming in at part-time even hours. Come on, everybody. Especially at big companies? Come on. They did continue this as well, and they said alongside the introduction of the partnership system in Japan, we notified our employees about the issues of gender diversity with a message from our president as a means of raising awareness and what diversity means. In this message, the president called for all employees to adopt a renewed understanding that even speech and actions, which are not intended to harm, can cause significant emotional pain, asking for understanding and support. They put things in place that no one can force anyone to expose their gender identity or sexual orientation. They don't want to do anything that's going to cause people to have to out themselves. This is excellent. This is really, really great. And I know that it
these are huge things for Japan in particular.
Exactly. And it can feel, if you're used to, if you live in the United States or, a more progressive country, when it comes to gender identity, at least, and not in many other ways, it can feel a little behind and hard to recognize and celebrate for the big thing that it is, but I'm very grateful for this.
As we were talking about this, a lot of people were putting into chat like, hey, this is my favorite anime or my favorite game, and here are all the times they did, differently, differently, people with non-traditional gender identities, I guess is what Japan would call it. They do them dirty. They're still like the butt of jokes over there, in media, in video games, in some of our favorite video games in media. Somebody brought up One Piece. A friend just finished streaming Mother 3 last night. Mother 3, one of my favorite games. There's some treatment of trans and gender identity stuff in there that's just woof.
I mean, there's still a lot of that very recently in American media as well. Mainstream American media, there was actually just one of the co-creators of Friends just did like a press tour, going out and being like, hi, I need to apologize for some of the shit that I did in Friends. One was for the lack of diversity
Oh
and
my
casting
gosh.
all white leads, obviously. Fuck you for that. That sucks. And then the other thing that she said was they had created an arc where, forgive me, I didn't watch Friends, Ross, I think's parent was trans and transitioned during the show at some point.
It was Chandler,
It was Chandler.
I
Okay, Chandler's parent.
I believe.
Again, I didn't watch Friends.
Yeah.
But one of the things was that, they continually called her his dad. They
Yeah.
kept saying father. They kept using he, him pronouns when they were trying to tell the story of someone transitioning. And one of the co-creators went around and was like, hey,
Yeah.
I didn't have the language yet for pronouns. I didn't understand what that meant yet. I'm super regret it, and I wish I could take it back. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Marta Kaufman has been talking a lot about that. And previously, David Crane, earlier this year, they talked about a lot of this stuff was done with Chandler. Chandler was like the funny guy who overreacted. And so they would throw a lot of these things at the Chandler character. And one of the things about the Chandler character being the funny guy who overreacted, David Crane always said, for Chandler, he said, write him gay, play him straight. Isn't that awful? They were like, and there was even an episode about that where like people think Chandler is gay and he's like very offended by it. And it's like, David Crane has come out and said, because David Crane is gay, and David Crane was like, I wish I had had the courage to just make Chandler gay.
Yeah.
Because that was the idea of like like he lived with Joey, who was like the super male like himbo like lady killer character, and like they were best friends, and like he was like, if I had made Chandler gay and made Joey his best friend, he's like, that would have been such a huge and wonderful thing at the time, and I was afraid to do it. And the network, I would have had to fight the network to do it.
And, I'm sorry, but, like, if other shows can do it, Friends could have. Friends was too recent for that. Friends was the early 2000s it was spreading into. It was the 90s into the 2000s.
Started mid-90s.
Yeah.
Mid to late 90s.
So, like, I'm just saying.
I want to
Buffy
say
did
I want to say it was pre-Ellen.
Buffy was the first lesbian kiss on television, and that was in like 1999, I want to say, or like 2001, sometime around there.
Yeah.
Just saying, everybody. But that's recent in American media as well, that people are pulling shit like this. So progress can happen very quickly when large companies like this and large creators of media like this make those changes.
Especially with trans stuff, like over the last few years, it's still in media and it's still used as a joke in mainstream media and movies all the time. And it's like, not only is it just a backwards way to be, it's a boring, tired joke. It's not a new or funny or interesting gag. It's such like an old school comedy thing to like lean back on, and just a shitty old school comedy thing to lean back on.
Flannel Fries referenced my favorite TikTok sound of the moment, which is funny. Not funny, haha. Funny, weird.
Yeah. Yeah, Sarah Gid says Friends had the first lesbian wedding on TV. They did. Look, you can be progressive in a lot of ways,
But they didn't kiss,
and
did
still
they?
be regressive in a lot of ways too.
Yeah.
And it's good that Marta Kaufman, who is still a very prolific television producer and writer, can come out and say, hey, here are the things we fucked up on, and in hindsight it was bad and I apologize, and not hide behind, well, we did this progressive thing. And I'm not saying that you're forgiving, Sarah. I'm not saying that you're automatically forgiving or whatever.
Yeah, no, we're on the same page.
We're on the
they
same
even said
page.
that in their statement.
Yeah. So, but it's like, you can be like, hey, we did this, but when it's time to apologize, I like that she's just apologizing.
Oh, and then Skywalker said that was also for a joke, that Ross fell in love with a lesbian. So cool. I love this. I'm going to say it on the internet. I don't like Friends.
Yeah, they did not play.
I'm sorry. I know a lot of people love Friends. I don't give a shit about Friends.
They played the Ross thing because when the first episode starts, Ross is
I don't talk about Friends anymore.
newly divorced, and they do the thing of like, oh, my ex-wife is now like has come out as a lesbian. They play that as a joke against Ross and Ross's manhood. Like, it's that very classic fucking,
Hey, fellas, is it gay to love a woman?
hey, bro.
Fellas?
Turned her gay, bro.
Fellas? Is it gay to get married?
Anyway,
Let's keep talking about games, shall we? I would love to
Yes.
talk about an indie game. I think it's a good big jump.
Let's do it.
Actually, you want to go to the romance?
we can talk about the romance. We're kind of in a how are you treating romance sort of mood.
Hey.
This was really wild. Drew Karpyshyn, who was one of the writers on Mass Effect, was talking about, he had an AMA on Reddit, and he said that the Mass Effect writers' room, everybody was surprised by the demand for the Garrus romance.
For those who have not played Mass Effect, I did pull up a picture of Garrus. Me. That's Garrus.
That's Garrus.
I want to smooch.
Yeah.
I want to smooch.
Garrus is just like cool, smart spy guy friend. And like, yeah, Garrus rules. And everybody, listen, everybody cool romances Garrus. You know what I mean? He's a cuddler. He is a cuddler.
Yeah, I'm about that.
So the actual question was, were Garrus and Tali always intended to come back for the second game? And Drew said, well, we always knew they'd come back as companions, but I was surprised that the fans wanted the romance options. Tali I could sort of see. You never saw her face, so it was easy to imagine something vaguely human. Garrus blindsided me, not because Garrus presents as male, but because they didn't know people would want to smooch aliens so much.
Which is wild to me. Are you kidding me? I want to smooch aliens so fucking bad.
Dude,
It's like the first thing I think about when I see an alien.
my whole life, I've been smooching people. Let me smooch an alien. All I've ever smooched is people.
Yeah.
I would love to smooch an alien.
This is the thing that I continually say on my stream. You cannot be straight in space.
There's no way.
You're not being heterosexual in space.
There's absolutely no way. Once you're talking to
Thank you, Calmer.
Once you're talking to somebody who's like a completely different species, who has a completely different biology than you, what are you talking about, straight and gay? What do you mean?
Imagine.
What does that even mean?
Being straight in space where aliens are and be like, no, thank you, only human men for me.
Listen, as much as the archetype character of scoundrel romance and spaceman, like your Captain Kirks and your Star Lords, as much as they have certain problems attached to them, one of the things that's lovely about them is like, yo, sometimes they wake up next to a squid.
Yeah.
Sometimes they wake up next to a sentient squid. And it's just like, way to go.
And why would that squid, that species of sentient squid, follow the gender binary that was created by us? No. No.
No.
But hey, speaking of space.
Speaking of space,
You want to keep talking about space?
I always love to talk
We
about
gotta
space.
keep talking about space.
Baby, it's space outside.
I saw a great tweet yesterday. Obviously, I'm sure so many of you have already seen these incredible new photos from the James Webb Telescope, but there was a tweet that was just like, stars aren't supposed to look like that. You can tell by looking at it, by the spread of the light around them. Those stars are very distressed.
Yeah. Those stars are having trubs. Look, we all are. Something that I think is really fascinating is the difference in quality between the Hubble telescope and the James Webb telescope. If you look at these two side by side, like enhance on those.
Zoom, enhance.
Look at the Hubble.
Wow, very impressive. So good. Oh my
So
goodness.
look at
Okay.
space. Already, I'm looking at that and I'm like, the universe goes on forever.
And then
I was talking
look at
to
all the details we were missing.
I was talking to Jeff about this, Jeff Kanata, on We Have Concerns, and the space telescope photos, the James Webb telescope photos, are so clear and see so far that it looks fake, because we've seen like representations of space for so long. Like, it looks fake. It looks too clear.
Shut up.
It looks CGI.
Shut up.
Check this photo out. This is called the Cosmic Cliffs.
Fucking unreal.
Look at this. Look at these. It's like, it's too beautiful. It goes on too far. It's too much.
It's too pretty.
It's just too much. Like, it goes on forever. And something that's really interesting is like,
it looks like Lisa Frank art.
it really does. It looks like posters of space that kids had on their wall that were drawn by artists as kids, or like the big, the big backlit plexiglass ones that they would have at the science center.
Yes.
And it looks drawn and it looks fake. Look at the amount of detail in there.
Look at all of the details that were like in there that are just clearly more like little speckles to us, but more fucking galaxies out there. God damn it.
Something that's really wild is like, if you look at that photo, if you look at this photo, if you're not seeing like the lens flare, the starburst lens flare, you're mostly looking at galaxies. Like, it's galaxies.
Yeah, dude.
Going on forever. Something else that's really wonderful about this is the James Webb Telescope takes absolutely full infrared and color photos. A lot of classic NASA photos were colored in post. They were colored afterwards. These are the actual colors of space corrected for the human eye, which is fucking wild.
Space is so cool.
It goes on forever. And like, if you're worried about anything, or you think that like we're so important, nah, dude, it goes on forever.
Which is pretty cool.
You're
in
a
my
mote
opinion.
on a speck.
I think it's pretty cool.
I love it. I love our insignificance. It's wild to me. Thank you, NASA, for still doing cool shit.
Speaking of insignificance, did anyone care about the Emmys?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think anyone cares about the Emmys in particular, but the Emmy nominations were released. We'll go through them really quick and see if there's anything like you give a shit about.
I'll tell you this, in the comedy series, I think we're in a golden age of comedy. I love the Marvelous Miss Maisel, Hacks, Barry, Abbott Elementary. I mean, listen,
Ted Lasso, What We Do in the Shadows.
Only Murders in the Building. I would be happy with any of these shows winning.
Personally, I would like it to be Ted Lasso, Marvelous Miss Maisel, or What We Do in the Shadows. I love Barry as well. I haven't watched Abbott Elementary.
Abbott Elementary is
Curb
very
Your
sweet.
Enthusiasm is still on?
Curb, I don't care if it wins.
It's back on.
Yeah,
it wasn't,
it's back on.
okay.
Only Murders in the Building, if you haven't watched it.
I have not.
It's so good. It's so good. And I love it so much. Do you know what it's about?
I saw a trailer for it, yeah.
Okay. It's very funny. It's Martin Short and Steve Martin and Selena Gomez.
Yeah.
And they start a true crime podcast in their building, and then they become suspects for a murder because there are murders in their building.
Yeah.
And it's so good. And
love Trevor Noah, love John Oliver.
And that's who we love in the talk shows.
That's
Let's see.
it.
Lead actress in a comedy series. I mean,
Rachel Brosnahan.
yeah.
I love Rachel Brosnahan. I think she's one of the most talented fucking actors on the planet.
I could see Quinta Brunson winning for Abbott Elementary. The flight attendant I didn't get into. The Great I haven't seen. Insecure. I think it's Insecure. It was Insecure's last season, so it'd be nice to see Issa Rae win for it because she's done such a good job on it for years. And then, of course, Jean Smart. I'm here for the Jean Smart renaissance. I'm here for it. From Designing Women to fucking Legion to fucking Watchmen to fucking Hacks. I love Jean Smart. And if Jean Smart wins, good for all of us.
Drama series, Better Call Saul, Euphoria, Ozark, Severance, Squid Game, Stranger Things, Succession, and Yellow Jackets. My guess is Stranger Things are Yellow Jackets?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Here's the thing. I don't have my finger on the pulse of TV enough to know what people are really loving.
Yeah.
People
were loving Yellow Jackets, and there's a good amount of nominations for Yellow Jackets.
And I love
here.
Melanie Linsky. I think she's amazing. Laura Linney, I mean, it's the last season of Ozark, and Laura Linney's been crushing it every season. Yeah, limited or anthology series. There's some good. Oh, Station 11's got some nominations.
Here's what I'm going to say. For limited or anthology series, I really hope Pam and Tommy does not win.
Yeah.
I think that would be really fucked up. The idea of an unauthorized biography series Winning a fucking Emmy pisses me off. Pamela Anderson did not approve this and actually asked them not to do it.
Yeah.
But apparently had no fucking rights to her name and image.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't,
the story of her own abuse.
I can't see it winning. I think it's a long shot.
I think it's fucked that it's nominated.
I think it's fucked that it's nominated. Even if she did an amazing job. Lead actor in a drama. Once again, you've got Jason Bateman for Ozark, which I think is great. We got two nominations for Succession. Brian Cox and Jeremy Strong. Adam Scott got nominated for Severance, and I would love to see Adam Scott win for Severance. Severance was my favorite TV show of the last year. And then Lee Jung-jae for Squid Game. It would be dope. That would actually be my favorite.
Yeah.
To see Lee Jung-jae win for Squid Game.
I agree. I think that there's a lot of these categories that Squid Game deserves. I think Squid Game has ended up in a difficult place because it came out at the very the very beginning of when the dates are for Emmys for this year.
Yeah.
So it feels like, oh my God, it's in this round?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It was such a global phenomenon, but it was a global phenomenon at the very beginning of this whole thing, like you're saying.
Yeah.
But one of the things I think is cool for Lee Jung-jae is number one, it would be a foreign language series. Anytime a foreign language series wins, I consider it a personal victory because it means we get more good stuff from around the world.
Agreed.
Brought over and translated. But also, Lee Jung-jae literally just moved to the States and is learning English. I just read an article and an interview with him, and it's there is so much buzz around him in Hollywood, and people want to cast him in things, and he's I literally moved here and started learning English immediately. He's and I'm trying to learn enough English to where I can actually go and do these meetings and do these castings before people forget who I am.
Oh my God. What a wild roller coaster to be on.
I mean, people forget,
I hope we see him in everything.
Me too.
I'm just what pressure. And also, I don't know, man. We shouldn't have to make you learn our language.
Sure, but
you're doing so good.
Ana de Armas, I forget, sometimes I forget, she came over to America and had to learn English within 2 years. And immediately started getting casted in things. And was just I don't speak English. Here we go. And she was talking about the process of you have to memorize the dialogue, and then you have to work with a translator
to understand what those words mean.
To understand the dialogue.
Yeah.
And she was the notes on my script were just this word means this. This is where she's I had to memorize the language and what the language meant in that instance.
That's incredibly impressive.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's incredibly impressive. That's very cool.
I folded my laundry this week. Not last night, but slowly over the space of this week.
That's very impressive, Anthony.
Thank you. That's where I'm at.
That's also impressive.
With my mental space.
Your personal victories are not lessened by Ana de Armas's personal victories.
I have that up on my wall.
Yeah.
But sometimes I forget, and it's nice to just hear it.
Yeah. I want to go back to games a little bit because we've been talking about Supermassive games a lot. Obviously, The Quarry has been the biggest thing. The fourth game in the Dark Pictures anthology series was we just got our first gameplay trailer for that. And following it, we got news that Nordisk has actually acquired Supermassive Games, the people behind all those games.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
Can I tell you? I will never get over things being reported by genuine journalistic outlet in the industry, gamesindustry.biz. It's a real site. It's not a parody. They broke this story, but every time they break a story like this, I was surely that's not real.
That does seem like a parody site.
Gamesindustry.biz?
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
No.
That seems like a site we would make.
Yeah, it's no. That sounds like us trying to get into an event. We we're from Pixel Circus, never heard of it. Well, maybe you've heard of gamesindustry.biz.
It's us with our business hats on. You know what I mean?
We used to have to get into E3. We used to have to because all we did was video, we had to set up a blog for Rev3 Games and post a couple things a year because they would be send links to 2 articles you've written. And it's we don't write articles.
We do videos.
We do videos.
There are still things like that. You know what else is really funny? Sometimes when I submit us for stuff, Our website is pixelcircus.party.
People hate that.
And sometimes when you submit it on a website, like the automatic detection will go, that's not a website.
Yeah.
.party is not recognized, which is a bummer because I think it's a really fun URL and like websites don't really matter anymore. So like,
yeah, it's stupid. It's like, I think like I used to have set up an alternate .com. You know what I mean? Like you have like your cool one and then you have like an alternate longer .com for forms like that, which like is stupid. But it's like some places still don't even like it if you send a Twitch channel.
yeah.
They're like weird.
Weird. What is that?
Anyway,
I don't care.
none of this is the story.
None of this is the story. Supermassive Games has been acquired by Nordisk Games. Nordisk was already a 30% stakeholder in as of 2021. So like, it's not a huge step, honestly. Like 30% is a pretty big chunk of the company that they already owned. They're a Copenhagen-based company.
I mean, that's another 70% they just grabbed up.
It is, but like these aren't like new people that just swooped in.
No.
So I don't imagine the direction of Supermassive Games like being impacted by this much because somebody was holding 30% of this existing company.
No, I think, if you acquire somebody like Supermassive, at least for now, you just let them keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely, because they're killing it at every turn.
They are printing money.
As Flannel Fries said, Saige started House of Ashes on Monday. House of Ashes is the third game in it, which I'm currently calling House of Ashley Tisdale, because it does star, in fact, Ashley Tisdale.
Beautiful.
House of Ashley. And we are doing a Missandei run.
Love
Because
that.
all of the men in House of Ashes are garbage and terrible.
Now, if you're wondering who Nordisk Games are, they have a bunch of studios underneath their banner. Some of them, I mean, look at this quality game.
Yeah.
That quality horse girl game. They do have Avalanche. That's their big one, the jewel in their cap.
That horse girl game reminds me of like the early 2000s like Barbie computer games.
Yes, it's
lot.
100%. Avalanche, if you're unfamiliar, is Just Cause. They have the Hunter, all that stuff. They have Flashbulb, which is, they do a lot of like Lego stuff. Kogama, which is, I don't know, they make browser-based 3D games. And then, wow, Mercury Steam. Whoa, Mercury Steam, what's up? I remember you. How you doing, Mercury Steam? Shit, what's Mercury Steam up to? Post Castlevania. God, hey, shout out to Mercury Steam. Does anybody know what Mercury Steam's doing?
I will say the Nordisk Games website on its homepage has a good few things on here that I find very interesting. One is their climate agenda. Nordisk Games is an initiator and partner in playcreategreen.org, a climate handbook for game companies. I think that's pretty cool, working continuously with climate issues. And the Planet Alliance. I think that's pretty cool.
Unique Techniques says, didn't they make Metroid Dread? I think they made Samus Returns. I don't know if they made Metroid Dread. I thought that was in-house. Oh, maybe they did. Maybe they were part of the studio, like they farmed out some of the work. But here's Star Stable Entertainment, Saige. They make the horsies.
I'm not a horse girl, but it's pretty cute. I'd check it out because I want it to be like those early 2000s Barbie games. Obviously, Supermassive Games is already up there for them.
So this is, wow, and they used to own Raw Fury. That's interesting. So there you go. These are not people coming out of nowhere, and they are not strangers to the industry or this studio. So I think this is a good get.
Yeah, I think this is very cool. I'm not mad at it. I just want Supermassive to keep doing what they're doing.
Yeah, anytime somebody gets bought and I don't hear 10 Cent or 2K,
then I feel pretty relieved. Yeah,
I'm just like, great.
All right.
Keep going.
Keep at it. In a little more independent games, I thought that this just looked really fun, so I wanted to talk about it. We got an initial trailer for a game titled Yet Another Fantasy Title.
Love it.
It is from the publishers, not the game devs, but the publishers of Rustler, which is the Grand Theft Horse game. Do you remember that?
I remember that video, the Grand Theft Horse.
It's a GTA parody with horses instead of cars. And they just released this trailer for a like top-down fantasy RPG called Yet Another Fantasy Title. And I just think that it looks really cute. The art style I really enjoyed, actually. I felt like it was unique for a top-down, especially a top-down in 2022. I don't see a lot of things like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel show them the trailer. That'd be great. Right, though? Like, I feel like there's a look to what top-downs look like for the last, 3 years.
In a generic magical universe. I love that. And yeah, this is definitely evoking all the classics.
Mm-hmm. There was a chosen one. Shocking. Original. Unique. Nah, there was a rogue.
There we go. Gosh, what was that game, that fantasy game that Aspire was constantly pushing on to Mac owners back in the day? You remember? And it was a big deal because it was one of the only things we had. And it was a top-down game that looked just like this. Anybody who remembers gets 15 BB points in the chat.
Yeah, BB points.
Okay. It's cute.
Yeah, I just think it looks really cute and I would like to play it. This looks fun to me.
Yeah.
I love the parody genre of games when the game is still made well. We see a lot of those parody games on that $1.99 Steam category. But games that are this full scale in the parody genre, I think are really, really excellent.
Yeah. That's fun. I like the look of that.
It looked cute, and I love to randomly hype up an indie game that's not getting a lot of coverage.
Yeah. Hey. We were just talking about the Emmys just a moment ago.
Okay. Yeah, this will be our probably last story.
And
It's a great place to end.
one of the ones is one of the big Emmy shows this year is Better Call Saul.
Yes.
Which of course a spin-off of Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking Bad is genuinely one of the biggest things to ever happen to Albuquerque, New Mexico. They shot the show in Albuquerque. It was a big deal.
It was a big deal, and they talked about Albuquerque a lot.
They brought a lot of production work to Albuquerque.
Really, all they have there is that Weird Al song and Breaking Bad.
I mean, they have a lot of TV productions now, and it's all because of Breaking Bad. And the state started making tax breaks and things like that. They're like, look, you can shoot where Breaking Bad shot. Which to me, it's Albuquerque has a very specific look, and I don't know why you'd want to shoot everything there.
Nah, not everything can look like Albuquerque. Albuquerque looks like Albuquerque.
But apparently they've been building up big studios and sound stages and things like that, and offering people real cheap production credits. So anyway, Breaking Bad kind of started this whole new chapter in Albuquerque's history. And so because of that, Albuquerque is erecting statues not of Bryan Cranston and Aaron Paul.
No, not
of Vince Gilligan, creator of Breaking Bad, but of the characters Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
This is so funny. They said, over the course of 15 years, 2 shows and 1 movie, Albuquerque has been wonderful to us, and I wanted to return the favor and give something back. So Gilligan said, these larger-than-life bronzes of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman exist thanks to the generosity of Sony Pictures Television and the artistry of sculptor Trevor Grove, and I love them. It is so funny. So they're putting them outside of the Albuquerque Convention Center, I want to say.
There's going to be a big reveal on July 29th. They're going to pull the tarp off and reveal the statues of Walter White and Jesse Pinkman.
The meth men.
Listen, here it is, our monument to the meth that made Albuquerque great. This city was built on meth and imaginary meth. And so in order to honor that, 2 giant statues of 2 of the giantest greats in meth.
Here's the thing. This is super funny. This is...
I think it's hilarious.
It's so funny. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. To this day, it's one of my favorite shows ever made. It is an all-time favorite for me. I was the biggest fucking Breaking Bad fan at the time. I was 100% that person that was just everybody has to watch this. Don't talk to me until you've watched Breaking Bad.
Right.
It's all I want to talk about.
Don't talk to me until I've had my Breaking Bad in the
Please don't
morning.
talk to me until I've had my blue meth.
And I love this. It was such a cultural touchstone, and it's such a huge series. Everybody was obsessed with it. Somebody brought up Hermit Homeboy brought up the Rocky statue in Philly, which is huge. Also, Detroit's got a RoboCop statue.
So, like, why not Walter White and
Why not
Jesse
Walter
Pinkman?
White?
I don't know why it's funnier to me. Why, you ask? Why you can't promote that you're from Australia? Because it's my channel and I say so, get wrecked.
Yeah, so this is not the first time that something like this has happened. It will not be the last.
It's funnier.
It's just the first one that's about imaginary meth heads and dealers.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like when you say Rocky, like Rocky was based on a real boxer.
Uh-huh.
And
RoboCop was based on a real RoboCop.
was based on a real robot that became a cop. But even RoboCop is like, as much as it's a horribly violent movie, RoboCop was the good guy, right? Walter White and Jesse Pinkman,
We're the bad guys.
they're definitely the bad guys. Milwaukee has a Fonzie statue? To the Fonz? To Henry Winkler, the
Let's
Fonz?
look it up.
Now that
I have to look it up.
I would love to see that. I would love to see the Fonzie statue. Now, one that I've always wanted to go to, Saige,
Yes, Anthony.
is Metropolis, Illinois, which they call the home of Superman. Oh, no. Oh, if I was Henry Winkler, I would be so mad. Is that a picture of Henry Winkler with it? Yeah.
He looks delighted.
I think, yeah, if I was Henry Winkler, listen, that dude has such a great sense of humor. If they pulled back the blanket on the Fonz statue and I was, why is the Fonz Aquaman? Look at those pants. If they pulled back the covering on my statue of the Fonz and I was Henry Winkler, I would crack the fuck up. I would be like, that's the statue. I love this. This is hilarious. Perfect. No notes. Thank you.
They've changed his pants colors over the years.
Maybe, I think it might be the metal oxidizing. I love this. It's righty, and thank you. It's the Cristiano Ronaldo statue. I wonder if it's the same sculptor. It also reminds me, yes, Mighty Cool is bringing up the Lucille Ball statue, that horrible Lucille Ball statue.
Where is that one?
That is in Celeron, New York. That was the original one. The original.
Show them.
Now the original one looks like the very mean cat from The Barge in the movie Cats. It looks like Ray Winstone. Luckily, after that came out, they replaced it with the statue on the right.
That looks like her and is excellent. Very impressive.
But that initial statue was fucking hilarious.
That is so mean. That's real mean that they did that to her.
That is awful. At what point, you're the sculptor, okay? At what point do you go, oh, I should call them and tell them this isn't working out?
This is an episode of like a Nickelodeon show where like some kid got like hired to do this because they were pretending to be like a sculptor to impress a girl or something.
Yeah.
And they were like, ah, shit, I gotta make this statue. And they've definitely never made a statue before and they don't have any sculpting experience. So they're like, yeah, no, I think this is pretty good. Like, I think I'm doing it. Yeah, aren't you impressed, Tina?
Yeah, just, oh no. And like, I have to respect the sculptor who kept going and said, nah, this is Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
No, I did it. I did it. Wow.
That one is your new sleep paralysis demon.
Whew. Anyway, I'm kind of excited to see these Walter White and Jesse. And I think like the RoboCop statue, it kind of shows that Albuquerque has a sense of humor about itself. You know, I don't think anybody really takes Walter White and Jesse Pinkman seriously there.
Scary Lucy is still there.
Scary
Mighty
Lucy.
Cool. Thank you for letting us know.
Oh wow.
We
They're
gotta go see Scary Lucy at
they
some
kept
point.
both. That's nice. I like that they kept both.
Why does it look like it's sweating?
Yeah, that's weird, right?
Yeah. It looks like it's like they made this statue out of chocolate and it's melting.
This the most famous example of this that I really love, or something like this. Yeah, it's bug-eyed and weird.
It looks like it's made of chocolate.
Yeah, it's definitely like, you have an hour to sculpt this out of chocolate on like a cake show.
Yeah.
You know, that's like
That's
nailed
what
it.
it looks
That's
like.
nailed it style.
It's like nailed it, or like one of those people who was definitely like a skilled baker on Bake Off, but like not this kind.
And I understand why she's holding, like, it's a gag from the show, why she's holding the
Yeah, it's the Vita Vita
It's-
Vegemin.
yeah, but like, it looks like she's just drinking cough syrup.
Yeah, dude, because she is.
Can you show that one more time? It just looks like she's just drinking cough syrup. Just like,
Anthony, what do you got going on over there? Movie
I just
mouse.
remember Ecce Homo, this very famous,
What did you just call me?
this very famous painting that was restored in 2012, and they hired somebody to restore it, and she literally said, the person who was restoring it said, like, it just went bad and it just kept going, and she just kept going because she didn't know what to do.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Just continuing to pay. Fuck. Okay. As someone who is not like cannot art for the life of me, every time I've ever tried to draw something, it goes like that, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just add a little more. It's like doing your eyeliner in the morning, and once it gets a little thick, and you're like, all right, I'll just thicken up the other side. Fuck. Okay, I'll go back to the other side.
It just keeps going and going and
okay,
going.
I just gotta thicken up the other side, and it'll be fine.
It's just like, you know, they tell you when you're like learning to draw and stuff like that like in the beginning or like even halfway through, your drawing's gonna look bad, and just keep going.
So that's what she did.
And she was just like, look, I just thought maybe I could fix it. And they definitely brought in afterwards a different restorer to go back. But at this point, they haven't restored it. They've completely repainted it.
Yeah. It's
You know
a
what I
new
mean? When you
picture.
say they've restored it to look like this or whatever.
It's just a new painting.
No, it's a new painting because she did this.
That's so funny. That's the funniest thing. I went to Italy in November, and something that people are always like, oh, when I talk about is that there's some bad fucking art in museums in Italy.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I went to Florence and Venice, and some of the art in the museums that are like, oh, this is from the 13th century are shit. They're absolute garbage. They painted babies so ridiculously badly.
The 40-year-old meth babies.
They did all these 40-year-old babies for some reason. These men who were painting had clearly never seen a baby.
Yeah.
They definitely had children. They just refused to look at them. That was lady work. They were out painting.
Now, even though historically they don't call it the Dark Ages anymore, that's like in art history it's still called like the Dark Ages and Middle Ages art, where it's like you get to the Renaissance and everything's dope, and then you just get to like this point where everybody just forgot how to paint because of religion.
They just were like, they had painted a dude already, and they were like, gotta add a baby to this. A reference from that. And they just painted a dude face on a small baby. It's so funny. And also animals, they were all approximations. Someone described an animal to them and they painted it to the best of their ability.
Yeah, because you may not have even ever seen horse.
Right.
Maybe you haven't seen a horse. Maybe there isn't a horse in your town, but you got to paint
Dogs?
a horse. This baby's has got a 40-year-old man hairline.
Yeah, it does.
Right here. This baby is going through it. This baby is really
Melting.
going through it. This baby is Mr. Bean?
Hold on, I'm
Rowan
airdropping these.
Atkinson?
It is Rowan Atkinson.
Look at the little baby Bean.
I'm airdropping some actual photos that I took of art in Italy.
That's just a tiny man. That's just Elon Musk sitting on somebody's shoulder.
That is a tiny man.
That's a small man.
Oh my God, that's a small man.
That's just like one pocket husband that lady has. She's like, and this, of course, is Gerald.
He's our little guy.
He's my little guy. Tell him all about your day, Gerald. What was it like? Tell him about what it's like at the office, Gerald. I got a promotion today. Yeah, you did, Gerald.
You fucking bet.
This guy's like telling us secrets, Saige. This guy's like, let me tell you a little something about my mom. You know what I mean?
Anthony?
Why is Vladimir Putin a baby 8 times?
And a woman.
Vladimir Putin is a baby and a woman and an angel twice.
Holding a bird real weird? Hold on, let me move this over here.
Yo, we gotta discuss
They said
art.
copy paste. I'm not kidding. This was an actual piece of art. And I believe this was in, let me see if this was Florence or Venice. Gallery of the Academia. I think this was Venice still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's for real. And then there was this guy.
Yo. Okay, but like, that does kind of look like a couple dogs I follow on Instagram.
Crusty white dog.
Yeah, this looks like a dog that I follow on Instagram for sure. You know, where it's like he's adorable and he's missing half his jaw and we love him. You know what I mean? And I'm like, I also love him.
But if you were gonna paint an idyllic dog, is that what it would look like?
Yes.
No.
No, it would look like Dagger. Look, this guy's doing stand-up comedy. He's doing a tight five to this lady. He's trying out new material. Let me tell you, Toots. I went into the deli the other day. I can't get enough of medieval baby paintings. Look at this screaming Mimi. Look at this little screamy Mimi right here.
How loud that was.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm so sorry.
Every day is another horror. And the baby is not wrong.
I've got another one.
I love medieval paintings. It's so good. Medieval art is the jam.
I want to show you this one. You shut the fuck up, baby.
Quiet down,
it's a
baby.
book. Just shoving it away with the book.
It's just like, no, baby, you're not needed here.
Hold on, Anthony.
You are not, listen, this is adults are talking, baby.
Here, we'll use Call of Cthulhu. That makes sense.
Sure. No, but
Shut the fuck up.
No, but I wanted to say.
Hold on, I'm trying to have a conversation. Okay,
No,
as I
Mom.
was saying.
Mom.
As I was saying.
Mom.
Listen, as I was saying.
Mom, look
You
at me.
should-
Mom. Oh, God, I love medieval art. God damn, it's so good. Folks, everybody,
Big book.
that's our news show. That was the video game news.
That was, in fact, of course, video game news. Get red, kid. Everyone, have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much for showing up for the show today. Of course, we do this show every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific. It's not 8 a.m. when we get started. That is not on us. That is on you, and you should have your clock checked.
And it starts up at exactly 8 a.m. perfectly every time.
No tech issues.
No tech issues. We're going to go through in just a moment here and thank everybody who supported the show today. We really appreciate it. You know, people have been donating. People have been subscribing. We are an independent network. 2 medieval babies in a shed, just doing our best. And so every time you support the channel, you support us directly. A lot of people think that this is a channel that perhaps we are supported by a media company. Perhaps we are part of a larger brand.
They're always saying that because of the quality.
Because of the quality and the fact that we start on time and our mics are good.
It's tough to. It's easy to mistake that. You know what I mean? It's
people
tough to
think-
tell that we're independent.
I'm sorry, are you the most funded channel on Twitch, they say? And I go,
You would think that.
surprisingly, no.
Surprisingly, we might be the least.
So we want to thank everybody who directly supported us. We're going to go through and do that. We always do a nice roll call. But first of all, Saige, what is going on in your life?
It's an excellent question. I would love to know as well. You can find me on the internet at Not Saige. I stream on my channel Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday, so I will be live later today. And you can also find me at Comic-Con next week. That's the big thing. You can find us in a live play together. There's the Pixel Circus live play. It has been announced on the Comic-Con website. That'll be Friday at 1 p.m. Pacific at the Omni Hotel. And it'll be our first live game for an audience.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. I miss doing funny stuff on stage for people.
Mm-hmm.
And it is lovely to get back to doing that.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting. If you're at Comic-Con, please come see us. We would love that.
And hey, if you're eligible, get your booster shot. And please, if you're going to approach us, please wear a mask.
Yeah.
Please do not come talk to me unless you are wearing a mask.
Don't talk to me until I've had my blue meth and a mask. So, Saige got her booster. I'm getting my booster. Second booster. Do it. It's honestly, it's going to make all the difference in the world. As somebody who got COVID at Star Wars Celebration, you can be as careful is. Please also get your booster. It will really, really help. Now,
We're going to find you on the internet.
Oh, my stars and garters, thanks for asking. You can find me everywhere on the internet at Carboni, except for here on Twitch, where I am at Anthony Carboni. Twitch, you cowards, it's mine. Give it back to me. Depending on how I'm feeling after my booster today, I may get on and stream again. Who knows?
Ooh.
Who knows? Also, listen to my science comedy podcast, We Have Concerns. You can find that wherever fine podcasts are sold.
Now, these are the ways that people support us monetarily. But if you haven't already, get in the Discord. It's free.
Get
Come
in
back
that
and watch the show
Discord.
on Friday. It's free. There will be a show on Monday next week, but after that, we are off for Wednesday and Friday for Comic-Con.
That's right. Thank you so much to Unique Technique for the cheer with those bits. Also, Gamerly1102. Thank you, Darwin50 for the bits. Thank you, Samuel F. Costa with the resub with Prime for 2 months, taking that Beezy bucks. Saying, love you guys. Love you too. Zomino with the very generous tip saying it's July's hump day. Funny flubs are allowed. They're allowed, but we've never had one.
Never one.
Stolen Tag with the resub for 20 months.
Except for that time that you said God.
Nope, that didn't happen either. Getting Mo Done with the resub for 17 months saying, what an amount. I'm loving these double-digit BBs. We got so many of them now. Ariel Third with the resub for 14 months. M. Jason O with the resub for 12 months saying, almost a Pixel Circus year. Almost. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. It's so funny that you have that because I nearly bought that for you this week. Thank you all so much for joining us. And remember, like Saige said, you don't have to support us with money. Money's dope and we love it because we convert it into goods and services in our lives. But if you don't want to do that or you can't do it, hey, just sharing out the show, tweeting, sharing a story that you'd like to see us cover on the show, all of that stuff is really, really lovely. If you see one of our TikToks or our Instagram clips, reshare those. Let friends know if they're going to like the show or something on the network. Let's bring in more BBs. More and more BBs.
We
gives us
require
more
more BBs.
We require more BBs. We must convert the BBs into joy.
More BBs.
I require more BBs that look just like me.
The meebie.
Meebies, I will eat this bird.
We have to go. Goodbye.
Mother, I'm very hungry. I require 2 live birds for my breakfast. Do you remember the controversial hip-hop duo 2 Live Birds?